What up, though? Jamelia R, PR coach and strategist. Now, I've been having some really interesting conversations, like actually amazing conversations with my accountability partners. And we've been like talking about what happens when you set goals, what happens when you reach them, and what happens when you're setting goals, but you're not accomplishing them. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about. And I wanted you guys to understand that it's not a certain time in the year, or it's not a certain, month or quarter where you have to start setting goals and saying, from here, this is where everything else is going to change from here on out. But you need to be quicker with deciding where you're here. Everything from here on is going to change. So what I mean by that is, like, if you think about it, at the beginning of every year, people set goals, whether it's goals for your personal life or it's goals for your business, goals for your career. You set up these goals, right? And you think about the things that you want to happen. But a lot of us are waiting for a new year, a new month, a new quarter. We're waiting for some significant, tick on the calendar, to start going after our goals and to really start fighting for the things that we say that we want, the things we desire, how we want to grow in our business. And it doesn't have to be that I set my goals at the beginning of the year, or, I set my goals every 6 months or something. But we really need to start thinking about what is the action that is going to help me reach that goal. Or are we just setting these goals because it's cute? We got all these New Year's resolutions come the end of January. You haven't even thought about those goals again, nor have you accomplished them, the things that you set out to do. You got these vision boards and you're looking at your desires every day, but still, you're not going anywhere on them. So that's what I've been talking to my accountability partners about. And I just wanted to share with you guys some insight and a little bit into the conversations that I've been having, how I'm gonna move my business forward, and like the sense of urgency about it, because you have to really start making that decision. Like, if I want to level up in my business, I want to level up in my career. I want better relationships. I want more, bookings. I want more customers. I want to speak on more stages. I want to be a panelist in more places. I want more people to know about me. Like, how am I going about reaching those goals? Because honestly, you guys, you can start right now. You don't have to wait for the new year. You ain't got to be like, oh, it's a fresh start, new year, new me. Like, you can do it now. And really, it's just a choice that you have to make when it comes to really deciding what it is that I want to do for my business. And once you make that decision, like, making it happen, like saying, I'm going to start right now. Yes, I made that goal in January, but I'm still going to start right now because I haven't started. I wrote it down and I didn't make it happen. Or I wrote it down, I tried some stuff, it didn't work. But how am I going to go about tweaking whatever that is so I can make it happen? Like, sometimes I think we get on, and I guess this is for us ambitious people, us who are already creating traction in our business and in our movement. Like, sometimes we get stuck in a familiar place because things ain't that bad, like, maybe in your business is constantly growing, maybe growing slowly, but at the same time, you ain't doing bad. So, like, you're like, okay, it would be nice. Let me grab some water. Like, you're like, it would be nice if I got some media attention. Like, that'd be cool, if they booked me or chose me as a panelist. It'll be dope if I got interviewed for that podcast. Or, what is it that I should be doing next? Like, I want to level up and I want more people to know about my name. I want more people to know about my brand. But what is that thing really that I'm supposed to be doing? So sometimes, if business ain't that bad, we get stuck in kind of this limbo where we're just floating along, not necessarily thinking about, what's the next level, because, like, at this level, you're not starving. At this level, you aren't just not doing anything for your business. You're not completely on the sidelines. A lot of people who doing worse than you. So you like, chilling on those goals, or you're slowly moving towards them, slowly trying to figure out what they take, but you don't have your hand to the fire, you don't have your hand on the hot stove and it's burning, you're not really in pain, so you're just floating along, you're just like, well, this is cool, I wish I had more business, I wish that I was pitching myself more. I don't really know how, but at the same time, it's cool because like I get customers, so it's fine. And it's not that sense of urgency, So I've been talking to a lot of my accountability partners about that. Like once you get to a level where you're like, I got some traction, things are happening for me, but what's going to be the thing that's going to make you feel like you need to kick it up a notch? You know what I'm saying? And one thing that one of my friends was saying, she was like, you don't want to get to that space where your hand is to the fire, where you're like in a rock and a hard place. You've been so comfortable for so long that now if you don't get to that next level, everything that you've worked hard for, you could potentially lose. So she's like, you got to be sure that you keep your hands warm at all times. Like you got to be sure that you're out there and constantly moving and shaking. And when you set those goals, you're constantly putting action to it. Like one thing that I do love about the students who are in my 8-week coaching program is that they really understand. Like I help them understand that when you're working with me, you're not just getting information. Like I'm sure that some of you have had experiences with courses, and when you're taking those courses, you got a ton of information, like things you need to process, things that, you're like, dang, soon as this course is over, I got a lot of work to do. But one thing in my 8-week coaching program is it's just not information, it's action. Like we put in work together. We do actionable steps right then while we're working together. Not like, here's all this information, then, we done working together. Go on your own, figure it out. Go ahead, boo-boo. No. We are putting that information into action while we're working together, because it's not just a lesson. Really, it is about implementation. So sometimes when, we're just floating along and we're like, it's not that bad in my business, I'm really starving, and we get to that space, is because we have all this information, all these things we know that we should be doing. We don't necessarily know how to do them, but we know that we should be doing. And, a lot of people, when you're watching webinars, you're getting the information, but the action is up to you. When you're watching live streams like this, it might be a lesson, but the implementation is up to you. So we have to take those things that we've set out as our goals and really be like, let me start making this happen. Let me actually take this action so that I'm reaching the outcome that I want. When I set that goal, what did I want to happen? So when you get to that point, that is when you realize, like, I have to hold myself accountable to taking action. I don't have to just hold myself accountable to setting a goal, saying, one day, I'm going to work with her. One day I'm going to, put everything that I learned in that course into action. One day, at the start of the year, that is going to be when I start pitching myself. Or at the beginning of the year, or I'm going to wait to the end of the year. Y'all, what are we waiting for? Like, act now. Like, I love my accountability partners because they're like, in everything we do, yes, we map it out. Yes, we have a strategy, but the strategy ain't nothing without action. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to put some pep in your step, like, meaning you gotta go. So you can't just leave things with like, that's some good information, thank you. Oh, I know what to do now. Because think about how many times we know what to do, but we're not doing the thing that we know to do. It's because we don't have somebody that's helping us be accountable. It's because, we haven't really jumped into action. Learning isn't action. Like, you don't just want your goals to be wishes. You know what I mean? Like, you don't just want to say, oh, I wish that one day I could be on that stage. Like, what are you doing to make it happen? One day I wish they knew my name. what are you doing to make it happen? Like, it's so hard to break out of our comfort. It's so hard. And this is something that I deal with all the time. It's so hard when you're like, let me go to what the next level is. And then you have to think through, what does that require of me? Like, what does that make me a person who has to really jump into action and to really put myself out there? Like, especially when the situation, like I said, it's not awful. Like, you aren't begging for bread. Like, you aren't like that, but it's not so awful to where you're like, I need to do it right now. Like, you aren't at the point of like of starvation. You aren't at the point of complete thirst. You just like, it'd be nice. It'd be like, I would love it. Like, think about what kind of challenges you need to hold yourself accountable to. Do you really have the guts? Do you really have the willpower to take it to the next level, to really show up for your audience, to show up the right way in front of investors? Do you really have what it takes? And are you willing to learn what it takes and then take action from what you learn? Like, it's a scary, scary place when you're just floating along. When you're just floating along and letting things happen. Like, whenever I tell the story of when I decided to start my first business, like, y'all, when I decided to start my first business, it wasn't that I was in an awful place. I just, honestly, I wanted to create something that wasn't there. And I didn't know that in creating that, I was launching in passion. I started working in my passion. And that's how I found my way to where I am today. So, when I first started, let me tell y'all this in case you haven't been introduced to me. What up, though? I'm Jamelia, our PR coach and strategist. I've got 13 years of experience in PR marketing and events. I love sharing with you guys my story as to how I got started and to how now I help people, tell their stories, build up their brand awareness, and really show up for their audience to land those potential opportunities, such as speaking on stages, getting interviewed in the media, with podcasts, all of those things, right? But when I started my first business, I wasn't a publicist. I didn't start as a publicist. I started as an event founder. And with that was when I was working in my passion. I realized, there's no happy hour events for young professionals that aren't the low-key turn up. Like, some of us young professionals at the time, we want to chill. We might, bob our head to some music, but like after work, we want like a chill vibe. And at the time in Atlanta, that was not the case. At that time, if somebody was talking about it's a happy hour, at a local bar or something, like, you go in there and it's like twerk fest. I was trying to just change that narrative. So I created a business from that. But in that, I met so many business owners who needed help promoting their business, which was something that I did in my 9 to 5. And then I was like, oh, well, from 5 to 9, I want to help business owners promote their business. I want to help business owners get opportunities out here that's going to help them grow. So you have to be willing to take action. And for me, that action was just like, okay, there isn't, the happy hour chill situation out there. Let me create it. But it was in the action that led me to working even more in my passion and to making greater impacts on people than I was doing. At the time, I was just connecting people. But then I started connecting business owners with their potential customers, with their investors. And that was something that like really gave my heart joy. Like, it just really made me glad. So back on topic, I know I got kind of a little bit off topic there, but that's something that you need to know. Like, it's the action behind it. So like, if you're still sitting around and you're like, at the beginning of the year, I had planned, this great thing to happen at the beginning of the year. I wanted to set up, like, here's what y'all got to do. Like, think about what a win actually looks like for you. So often we'll set these goals and they're not really specific. What do I want? I want media attention. Okay. Like, really set the intention behind that. I want media attention so that I want to be on a podcast so that Like, why? What does that win look like for you? What is the very specific and detailed outcome that you want to have? Like, take inventory of where you are and where you want to be. Think about it. And then why don't you write down the reasons why you aren't there? Write down, maybe it's an excuse that you have. Maybe you like, I'm too busy. I ain't got time to try and promote my business. I don't have time for learning how to share my story. All I can do right now is grind. Like, think about what are the reasons why you not out here and people don't know your name, or why your business has not seen the growth that you would prefer for it to have. Is it because you lack a visibility strategy? Like, you don't have the strategy to get in front of the right people. You don't have the strategy to get in front of, the investors or the people who want to buy from you, or get in front of new audiences who want to hear your story. Are you lacking that strategy? How you going to go about getting it? Is it because your business isn't in front of the right audience? Like, how many of us talk too often to people who don't want to do business with us? They just want to pick our brain, or they think our products or our services are too expensive. Like, really think about that. What are those reasons? Write them down. Why don't you have more bookings? Why don't you have more speaking engagements? Why aren't you in front of that right audience? Is it because there's something lacking? Do you not know how to pitch yourself? Now, I talk about this all the time, you guys, and it's sad and funny. Like, at the same time, if you're in front of the right people, but you aren't saying the right things, you aren't communicating your value, you aren't talking about what's really important about your business that's going to make people want to do business with you. Like, if that's the case, what is the real reason that's keeping you from those goals you wrote down? What's the real reason that's keeping you from the people that you need to be in front of? What's keeping you from media attention? Is it the contacts? Like, do you not know the right people to contact? Do you not know the right people to call? Do you not know the right people to email? Do you not know how to even find opportunities? Like, I want y'all to really think about that. What are those things that, if you're setting a specific goal and an outcome and you have not reached them yet, if you take inventory of where you are, where you want to be, what are the reasons in between those that you aren't reaching them? And like, hold yourself accountable to getting it done. Maybe I need to learn more. Maybe I need to actually take action because I know what to do. Maybe I know what to do, but I don't know how to do it. Like, that's huge right there. Maybe I know what to do, but I don't know how to do it. Like, y'all, I am an expert in public relations. You know what I mean? Like, I know how to help you communicate your business. I know how to help you attract your target audience, all of those things. But you know what I'm not a master in? Accounting, bookkeeping, web design. I don't know how to code. I know how to make a landing page on ClickFunnels. Like, my ClickFunnels be popping because that's more of a drop and drag. It's not, I know how to build websites. You know what I mean? So like, you have to really think about, I know what to do, but do I really know how to do it? And in that case, you guys, I really encourage you, find mentorship. Find those people who can help you. Find those people who can take you to the next level. And you do that by either finding somebody who has had the results that you're after. So when we talked about you getting that very specific idea and the outcome of what you wanted to happen from your goals, find somebody who's made that happen for their clients. Find somebody who's made that happen in their career, in their business, for themselves. And or start looking for the people who are where you want to go. If they're doing the things that you aspire, start finding out how you can get mentorship with them. Buy their courses, buy their books, have them as your coaching. Like, if you want somebody to really coach you, you got to work with the people who, like, can we talk for real? We have to work with people who have results. And don't get me wrong, yes, you can work with some starter coaches and startup coaches, like whatever, right? But at the same time, you have to know if they can take you along the path that's going to get you the result that you're after. Like, so often that's looked over because, people have great marketing. It's looked over because people got on some nice high heels, a nice little outfit. Y'all are thinking that they bad because they dressed amazingly. But are they going to be able to take you to that place? And one reason you really want good mentorship is because those people know how to get you to where you want to go. They know the way. They know exactly what it is that you need to do to reach that goal. And then they're going to hold you accountable. Like, they really are going to make sure that, like, when I got a mentor in my business, when I was running my PR agency, when I got one specifically to help me grow the agency, from 1 month to the next month when I talked to her, she was like, so did you do everything that I said? And what happened? So you can't show up and not be on part B, because they're going to hold you accountable. They're going to hold you accountable to the action steps, or if you got to try it your own way. But by the next time you talk to them, you need to have made some changes. You need to have been putting yourself into action. So that's another thing. Somebody who knows how to get what you want. They've either done it for other people or they've done it for themselves. That's who you got to follow. They know the way. And then you also have to have mentorship from somebody who's going to hold you accountable, who's going to make sure, did you do this step? And another huge important thing is they could tell you what not to do. Like with my PR mentor who helped me build up my agency when I had it, she made sure to tell me the mistakes she made along the way. And that is so hugely important, because you want somebody who is going to lead you away from the things that they saw as a pitfall or how to jump over the hurdles the right way. You want somebody who has been there, done that, and can share that experience with you so that you know. And another huge thing that you want is somebody who's going to help you with mindset, those roadblocks. When people are like, this is a great example. Not last week, the week before last, I had a coaching call with one of my clients. And, when it came to telling her story, she had this huge roadblock. She was like, I am successful now, but I don't know how to tell my story. I'm starting to get all of these brands that want to work with me. I'm starting to get endorsements. But when they ask me, who am I? Not what it is that I do, but who am I? Like I'm having many heart attacks because, there's that resistance. There's that, I don't really want to tell my story. I don't know what part of my story to share. That's a huge thing. I don't know what part of my story to share. So I'm like, wait a minute. I understand that we're at this hardship, but in that is where you really get to showcase your passion. You really get to tell people why you deserve to be here. So don't think of it as, a rags to riches or a sad story that had a happy ending. You need to think of it as, what did I learn? So you have to work with somebody who is really willing to go through it with you when it comes to those roadblocks. Somebody who, is going to help you with the mindset of how to get over these challenges. Because anytime you're going to level up in your business, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be hurdles, there's going to be resistance, there's going to be things that's going to feel like it's holding you back, right? It just feels that way. It's not true. It feels like it's holding you back. So in that, you got to be for show with it. You have to know that you've got somebody who's got your back and can talk you through that. So if mentorship is what you're looking for, I invite you. Click the link surrounding this video. Go ahead, connect with me personally. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about your business. Let's talk about your growth. Let's talk about how we're going to hold you accountable to reaching those goals. If your goal was to get in front of more, people who want to do business with you, the right people, you want to be in front of the right crowd, holla at me. If it is, I want more booking and speaking engagements, how do I get those media interviews? How come I didn't get interviewed on those podcasts? let me know. Click the links surrounding this video. If it's, I'm trying to have better conversations, I want to share my startup story. People need to know the purpose behind why I created this business, why this product is a genius. Yo, let's talk. I'm Jamelia R., your PR coach, and I really do. I want to talk to you so that I can help you be accountable for reaching those goals that you set, because you just got to take action now. You don't have to wait until the next year. You don't have to wait until the next quarter. You can take action now and start changing those things that you set out to do. Those goals that you set, now is the time to reach it. And the only way to get through things, especially when it's the fear, the resistance, the hurdles, is to take action. So I'm telling you guys, click the links around this video, connect with me. I'm Jamelia R., your PR coach. I've got 13 years of experience in PR marketing and events. My zone of genius is coaching goal-driven business owners to get more eyeballs on their business, tell better stories about their products and their services. So if you're stuck trying to get more people to pay attention to you or your business, you want to be seen as the go-to expert by media outlets and by potential customers, I'm your girl. I'll see you guys later. Thanks so much for watching the video.